Okay, this is just a quick review on the K31 from AliExpress. You can get these, I say from AliExpress, but you can get these pretty much anywhere, on Amazon, a HK416. They're pretty cheap too, so they cost about 10-15 bucks to make, and they sell them for like 25-30 sometimes. I got this for 15 bucks, so it's not too bad. Probably a bit less than that actually. In the box you get your instructions, you get an optic, you get your shells, you get a stripper clip, and you get a fake silencer. Bit of stupid silencer though because it's got loads of holes in it, and it's really long as well. So I've lost that for the moment. I've misplaced it because I've never used it, so I can find that again at some point, but it really is just a useless piece of plastic. You get an internal magazine, and the variant of shells you get with this are clear ones with a bottleneck on it. So they're a little bit different to some of the other ones, including the HK416. But I did actually modify one of these shells to work. I just added a rim, I just added a neck to it. So yeah, and you get to choose between like a realistic colour or the gold colour. I ordered the gold colour just to get it through customs. Here it is right here, but it's got all the wood grain on it, so I will paint this up, and it's very easy to paint this up too. I also modded it, so I'll show you that after, but I'll show you the basics. You can just pop this all off, really simply, and also you can see it's black underneath. So, you know, it really is easy just to bypass this whole stock and just have a whole black gun, but it doesn't really look very good, you know, without it. So let's put this back together again. But I will paint this up. Once it's back together, it's solid though. It just takes a moment to pop it all back into place because they are pegs. You do get a rail on here, but I don't want to use that just because it looks more realistic to the real thing without it. And you get an adjustable rear sight, which you can overly adjust it. It has no spring or notch, so you can just move it up or down. What I found is just moving it up to about there, you get some really nice accurate shots. And bringing it up further, you can actually shoot, you know, because you're actually not lining your shots up, you can get some nice angled shots, and your aiming doesn't feel like they're angled because you're still lining your sights up, so it's quite nice. The only thing I don't like about this is that the bolt doesn't close into the barrel, it just sits there. I think they've done it so when you've got it loaded you can see the shells. I don't really like that, but it doesn't perfect the performance of this. So I'll include some video, if I've got it, which I should do, of the internal of this, just to show you what I've done. And what I did was, that little notch is the trigger lock, and that stopped me from being able to hold the bolt and lower it. You had to dry fire it every time, or you had to like pull the trigger slightly and then do it, which is kind of like some of the other Nerf guns out there that have that lock, and you kind of have to pull the trigger slightly to do it. I didn't like doing it, so I just, well, you know, I took that out, and also I put an upgrade spring in here, and it's the downgrade spring for the Nexus Pro X. This was getting about 40 feet per second before. It's now getting about 80. So it's just below that Pro feet per second, and when you take this off, because this comes separately anyway, it's even more powerful, because the shell literally just ends right there. This was a bit anachronistic though, it was way too long when I got it, so I trimmed the barrel down, you can see the little ring, and just reaffixed it, and it's very much lined up now, still. It's just much shorter, because this is based on the Obrez, which is what the Russians made during World War II, when their supply lines for pistols was a lot lower, and these were like just sort of made as like a medium ground, you know, they didn't have pistols, so they'd have this. You could just whip this out and just fire it. Like I said, it comes with a stripper clip, and it comes with, I think it's 5 shells. Even though it holds 6, there was 1 shell missing, which is what kind of inspired me to try and modify one of my HK416 shells. And it does work. It's a little bit tight, but it does work. So you can put your stripper clip in before the bolt's even back, which is quite cool. Drop it in. Snap them down. Very nice, as you can see. And yeah, the performance of this is great. The only thing I don't like is that once you've got your 3 in there, you can't push this down and then lower your bolt on it. So you can't +1 it, so you can't get 3 + 1, you just can't do that. I can even show you, if I pull the trigger and lower it, it's resting on, you've got a double feed right there, and it doesn't even matter if I do that, you will not get the bolt to slam forward on your finger. It's just impossible. It's completely locked. So if we put it back, the other shell will drop out. Don't recommend pulling the trigger once you remove the lock with this back, because I did that once with one of the shells for another blaster I'm going to be reviewing after this that uses very similar shells, but they're very much more brittle. I did it just to see what would happen. It still fires, it's still got the maximum power. This didn't change any of the performance, which is weird because I thought it would. But you can see if your shell's loaded from the top of it, which is strange. But yeah, I've got another blaster to review after this. Not as happy with it. It is another bolt action, but it has some cool features on it, which I'll show. But yeah, we're fully loaded on this, and I'll just show you the power because I'm very impressed with it. You can see that landed, and my hair caught it. And this is what I'm using, Nexus Pro darts. The shell ejection is very good as well. It's very strong for a bolt action. And obviously the harder you pull it back, the more aggressive it will jet off to the side. This is my modified shell. You can see that loaded fine too. Fired just the same. And ejector's the same as well. Of course I'm not ripping them out because I don't want them to fly underneath all the kitchen cabinets. So yeah, if they allow you to use this in a super stock war, go right ahead and use it. I'm not sure if they allow you to use certain replicas, and if they do, I recommend, you know, painting this barrel orange for public play, and probably just painting this orange instead of gold as well. Just a few little tweaks, really. Yeah, because I think it's just a whole lot of fun. I definitely recommend taking this out to a war and actually using it. It's great, honestly. Just one-handed using this and having the shells as well. It's nice. Okay, so we're at the range with the K31 from AliExpress. Yeah, really happy with the mods I've done to it. If I didn't talk about that already, I'll show some clips and pictures of the internals of this. But mostly with this design, where it shows a little bit of the shell and it doesn't close all the way, the internals are always the same. But I'm happy with the performance, and I also found out something really cool. Another ammo type you can fire in this. So I'll show you the standard ammo. It comes with this stripper clip. And yes, this is a real clip. And it feeds the internal magazine. And I've noticed of all the ones on AliExpress, even the detachable mags, they all come with a clip. But they all work really nicely. So there you go. Of course you do have some spare left on the clip afterwards, depending on what capacity your blaster has. But that means you can then load again. So like I say, you can fire this traditionally, like a traditional K31. You just put it straight back and forward again. So yeah, you can see it's got some nice power. It's hitting the backboard. It's definitely not as accurate as like some of the other pro stuff, but that is simply because there is no B-car. But yes, you can fire in one darts in this. They fit in there quite nicely. Definitely not as powerful because the darts are heavier and bigger, and definitely not very accurate either. We've got 2 rounds left, so we'll put them in. And you can't push the clip out with this. This clip goes right down into the receiver. So yeah, this is getting about 80 feet per second. And there's one other little thing you can do as well if you want to increase the power slightly. Take this off entirely. There'd probably be a way to actually put a B-car built into this system, because the barrel literally starts right there. Somehow that one didn't load. That's strange. We'll put that back into the mag. Try that again. There we go. You can see the shell ends right there. You could probably put a B-car in there and have this short. Let's try an N1 dart, shall we? Wow. And we'll try one more normal one. That's pretty crazy, guys. Like I say, it's definitely got more power when you take this barrel off. Yeah, I really think this is one of the treasures. It's one of those things where I say trash or treasure. Definitely think this is a treasure. The shell ejection's cool. If you fire it in a contained area, you can keep the shells. Not the most practical for a wall, but you know, it makes it more fun. You can put, obviously this has a rail on here, so you could buy a shell catcher and have it dangle over the side. And as long as you pull the bolt hard, it will eject out quite aggressively. And with my mod as well, now this is primed, I can pull the trigger and lower it. That's one of the reasons why you can fire this with the bolt open, because it did have a safety in there that you couldn't pull the trigger until this had been closed down. But now I've taken that out just so you can deprime it. But yeah, definitely worth picking up. It's not very expensive for one of these. It's less than 25 bucks. It's cool looking, and I'm going to paint the gold brown just to make it look more cool, more realistic, more prop-like. Definitely won't be leaving my house though. So yeah, very cool. Definitely worth picking up. Thanks for watching, guys. Comment, rate and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.